is Paul. Yes. There seems to be somebody doubting the innovations that I'm talking about. When you have a cement block, yes, and you form it out of the various products that are used, cement and maybe some sand and fruit, and could be some pumice, yes, and you mold it into a block. They like those to dry as fast as possible. Now, the problem is, how do you recapture that heat so that it produces very hot water that converts to steam? Oh, well, you can have a conveyor belt that has water running around it so that as it's drying, all of the water converts to steam. Yes, it goes into a specially designed steam generator that I myself have had a lot to say about the design of. Yes. And as the pressure from the steam gets converted back into water, yes, it produces more electricity than what the actual HHO gas drying kiln uses in the manufacturing of blocks. Yes, it does. Now, all of that additional electricity that's not being used in the drying process, yes, can be sold back to the electric grid. You wouldn't want to use it as a corporation. You keep your expenses separate. Choo-choo-choo. You have the actual kiln drying costs of each and every block, each brick, each and every stud, for those in the lumber industry, yes, and you sell the excess electricity back to the grid. Now you got a check coming in, yes, to cover the cost of the building of the actual kiln drying system, yes. And then when I do it, I put it all in there for you, specially designed myself. Yes, I build it all for you, and I say, well, it costs you $10 million for this new kiln drying machinery. Yes, I'll finance it at 7%, and every time you get a check back from the electric grid, we apply that to the balance of what I installed for you. Yes. Now, in about 10 to 20 years, depending upon the amount of blocks manufactured. Yes! About the amount of water that you converted to steam. Yes, it did. It pays for itself so that when you're done paying for what I built for you, yes, you get that the extra electricity to offset your operational costs of having a corporation. Now, I know. You don't want one of these new innovations? You, as a brick manufacturing company, Mutual Materials, now when I look at the actual utility usage of what you're spending to dry those bricks, yes, I'm thinking that if you install what I have available to you at no out-of-pocket cost, and then you decide, well, we just won't have that electricity kickback from the electric grid. But you didn't pay to have it built, did you? No, we didn't. So what's it actually costing you to manufacture a brick that you're selling to a mason? Yes. It doesn't cost you any utility costs because well, the water usage. It costs. Is it made out of clay? Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, for those that are in the mason business, how much is it that you're paying for each and every block that you're using to build anything? Now, I know, you can't really reduce the cost. That would affect the market price of a block. Yes, it would. But what could happen is that, would it help your business to not have any utility cost? You're paying for the clay, the cement. Well, let's say I went to the cement manufacturer. Choo! I give them the same deal. I convert all that excess heat to steam generating electricity, which I sell it back to them. They're keeping the same price for cement that you're purchasing from them so that you can manufacture brick.